Hi everyone, welcome back to Life After Neverland. I'm Corinne, and instead of Sean joining us today, I brought my friend Rudy. If you're new to our channel, hit the subscribe button. We have so many cool, fun, and unique different things, and thank you in advance for your subscription. Okay, so now I'm gonna hit off with some major spoilers. Who won the HOH? Just to let you know, Davon, Ian, and David were the first three to fall off, and they all three now have to be on slop. Cody, Tyler, Nicole, and Danny. Not shocked by these last four standing. Anyone else? Ultimately, at the end, Danny won the HOH. That's a big wah 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 in my eyes. She's one of the very last people that I wanted to see have HOH, but then again, my list of people that I'd like to win HOH is very, very small. One being Ian, and the other being Davon. Now, before we get started on any house drama, I wanted to just talk quickly about Bailey and her leaving the house. Please feel free to leave a comment down below and let us know what you thought about last night's episode and the big heat up between Christmas, Davon, and Bailey. I really feel like it's two different minds trying to speak to each other, and neither of them can see very clearly about what the other person is saying because there's so much talking going on and such little listening. If Danny decides to put Tyler up, which is something I kind of want her to do, then Tyler can just go home then, which is exactly what he wanted to do. I'm frustrated with his most recent gameplay. A couple interesting moves that came from Danny. You would think that she would want to put Davon up on the block, but she told Davon that she was safe. Does she mean it? I think this is a smart move on Danny's part because already Davon is kind of raising an eyebrow towards Danny because of the information that Tyler gave her last week that Danny wants her out. So if she can mend fences with Davon, she has someone on the other side of the house, or is kind of, like I said last week, a flip-flopper that maybe would flip or flop towards her side. The other thing that I thought was interesting that Danny did was that she suggested to go up and speak to Cody about Tyler's gameplay, and if Tyler does stay in the house, does Cody actually want to have a whole nother season where he's up against someone like he was with Dan Giesling and then end up coming in second? Again, the seed planting, the manipulation that Danny uses, will it or will it not work to her advantage? We'll have to see. Thursday night, I also saw Nicole crying. She feels like she's being perceived in the outside world as a mean girl. And she said, I guess I just won't laugh and joke anymore. That wasn't the point. When she gave Davon the $5,000, which I believe that's what it was, anyways, when they played the veto competition, I think that was more of a way of her saving her reputation than it was out of sincerity. You know, one of the things that I love about Big Brother is just watching some of the psychological things that go on within the game. For example, when Tyler told Bailey and Davon that Danny was going after them, somehow he got into his own head and his own misery by missing Angela and probably the drama that was surrounding all of that, and he became weak, which left a door open for Danny to get things back in her direction again. The game somehow worked itself out that Danny now wins the HOH, so now she can use Tyler's weakness against him and get him up on the block, maybe even backdoor. The only thing is, which makes Big Brother so much fun, is that David now has the power to take himself off the block. So if she puts Tyler up in his place, Tyler has the opportunity to win the veto against Kevin. And between Kevin and Tyler, we all think Tyler more than likely would win over Kevin. Am I right? Who would she then put up? And still, even if Kevin wins the veto, then who else is she going to put up? People are speculating that maybe Christmas or Ian. And that's going to lead into our next conversation about some of the bad things that have been happening in the house surrounding Ian and some of the house guests. I thought I saw a lot of bullying happening last season in BB21, but this season might actually take the cake. I believe it was Memphis, Christmas, Danny, and Nicole Franzel were all sitting in a room making fun of Ian and his autism. It is showing how truly, hi Enzo! High five. Sorry, that was distracting. Okay, so, Enzo. Do you want to talk about this too? You want to talk about Ian? TMZ has gotten a hold of this. It's all over the place, you guys. It's literally blown up. And when the house guests realize what their actions have caused, created, and have done, the karma is going to hit them so hard. If you want to talk about Nicole Franzel, she came in this house having rumors surrounding her, and now with everything that happened with Janelle and with this is she is going to have such a hard time. So currently right now, Nicole is an influencer. Prior, she was a nurse. I don't believe that Nicole will be able to be a nurse ever again after this, and I do think that her influencing days could possibly be over. Already, many of her sponsors are axing her, and they're going online saying that they no longer want to work with her because they cannot support her behavior in the house. Bullying is still bullying if you laugh in a group with other people and you don't stand up for the other person. So basically, Danny and Nicole were in bed talking about how when Ian rocks back and forth, it can be very irritating and distracting to them. When Christmas and Memphis joined in, it went to a darker place. Basically, Memphis said that when Ian rocks like that, it gives him nightmares. I thought it was very bold of Ian to open up to everyone in the house about his autism, and I feel like that was such a brave move on his part because then he's allowing himself to be himself. He cannot control what is happening to him, and I can't even imagine what might be going on and happening in Ian's mind that none of these people have to deal with or suffer with on a daily basis, on top of having to play this game. They're not even going as far to think that he's having reactions to maybe the lighting and all the different aspects of the game that don't affect the average person. Ian is truly an inspiration to be able to be on this show and go through the level of stress that an average person would need to go through, and he's already got his own battles that he has to work through in order to focus on the game, which is physical, mental, and emotional. If you remember on the episode, Ian was feeling ill and he wasn't even able to participate in the power of veto. I guess later on he started to have like a more chipper attitude, and both Cody and Memphis were giving him a hard time. Is he having social anxiety and be headed into an anxiety attack? I'm rooting for Devon. I'm also rooting for Ian to win this game. I do feel like the two of them are going against this current, but it would be a beautiful story that we could all look at and feel proud of the two of them going through the adversity that they're going through. So that's what we can all hope for, because otherwise it's another Big Brother season that's going to suck so bad. Why can't people just play this game? Why do you have to tear someone else down? This is what we're trying to change about the world. In wrapping up, you guys, I'm going to leave you a little tweet that came from Kaser. If Janelle and Kaser were still in this house, things would be so different. Inside the BB house reflects society's failures when it comes to our handling of diversity. We could use a lesson in empathy and awareness. People who are neurodiverse and on the spectrum should be protected and not trashed. I have zero tolerance on this issue. And it's exactly what I was saying in my last episode in regards to Christmas and Bailey, and now even her conversation that she had with Devon. She lacks empathy. And unfortunately, so does Danny, and so does Nicole, and 100% Memphis. Danny's a mom. I don't know how some of these people, like I said, Nicole is a nurse or was a nurse, and she's supposed to be an influencer. What are they standing for? There's a lot of change that needs to happen in this world, and I think we have a long way to go. We do. Awareness is key. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. Castiel says thank you in advance. Take care, everybody.